each and every item, and we are thrilled that our first matter of business is to welcome and introduce the Student Fair Trade Task Force, who are here to educate us all on their wonderful efforts. Gals, are you ready? Yeah. Then let's go. And make sure you introduce yourselves.
Okay. I'm Anna Dankers.
I'm Mia Manzella.
I'm Caitlin Berry.
I'm Bridget Corrigan.
I'm Tayo Pedro.
And we're going to tell you about fair trade and what we're working on at school. So we're just going to start with what is fair trade. It gives workers fair wages and safe working conditions, and it also helps the environment because the companies vow to be more environmentally friendly. Also, because it's a direct relationship between the producer and consumer, the money goes straight back to these small communities like in South America or Africa. So these communities can build schools and better education to help them get out of the cycle of poverty.
Why we should choose fair trade. The fair trade movement is in direct alignment with the mission here at Magnificat to learn, lead, and serve in the spirit of Mary's Magnificat. So he has lifted up the lowly, cast away the rich. It all goes along with those types of things. And it also aligns with the Catholic social teaching, so preferential option for the poor, subsidiarity, all of those. It's standing in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in Christ across the world. And also being global citizens and conscious consumers and using the great purchasing power that we have as a school to go towards a good cause.
And then one of the things that people often confuse with fair trade is free trade. And free trade is actually pretty much the opposite of fair trade. Free trade is without regulations, quotas, so companies look for the cheapest labor with the highest profits, which really impacts the small farmers because it favors larger companies. And it has a devastating impact on their life and the environment because of the lack of regulations.
So far, what we've accomplished, our committee is dedicated to becoming a fair trade certified high school, hopefully in the future. We've also been continuing the education of our Magnificat community on the issue of fair trade. Last year, we had posters up around, I don't know if you remember seeing them. I think we had a few announcements during our Fair Trade Week. And this year, we continued that at Night in Blue with our Fair Trade booth. We had little questions, so we were educating the public as well. Also, we have brought fair trade coffee to our campus, which was one of our first goals, so we were happy to accomplish that. Our next goal is to come up with a fair trade policy for our school, which will include food, athletic, products, school supplies, and clothing. And as I said, our overall goal is to become a fair trade certified high school.
There are various products that Magnificat can use that are fair trade. Some of the most common are coffee, which you already have going, chocolate, and clothing. And some of the local businesses that we can look to provide fair trade are One World in Rocky River and Heinen's, which sells items such as fair trade tea. And some of the least common products that we can also look towards implementing are flour, sugar, bananas for ingredients and things. And we've put together a fair trade catalog with various products and their prices and stores and websites they can be found for basically every department that would need to purchase stuff in the school. And our latest endeavor is the Fair Trade Cafe, which will be at the Fair Trade Christmas sale. And we plan to introduce the Magnificat community to new products that can be fair trade, such as brownies and cookies.
Okay, so how the faculty can be involved. Why are we here today? If you are interested in being part of the fair trade movement, we would love to have you join one of our committees, work to help us implement fair trade at Magnificat. And raising awareness is another big part of educating and spreading the word of what fair trade is and how we can make it happen here. So next week we have a Christmas sale on Thursday and Friday, and if you're looking for Christmas gifts, you know, that awkward person you don't know who to buy for, fair trade is your solution. You want to buy fair trade because buying fair trade is the way we make it happen.
I love coffee and chocolate.
Buy some coffee and chocolate.
Fair trade really can benefit just about everyone. For our school, we would be the first fair trade certified school in Ohio and the second in the nation. And if you think about that, the amount of publicity that would bring to our school, it would just be such a great thing. And for students, when they buy fair trade products, they can know that they're making a difference. And a lot of times they can know exactly where the product is coming from and not just some company that doesn't have fair wages. And also our surrounding area, we would be a model for their fair trade movements as well, and also we would inspire other schools, hopefully in this area, to start a fair trade movement.
We just have a short little video that
Kind of just sums up, basically.
Fair trade gives a developing country a way to improve their economy through just wages and fair treatment.
fair trade is being an active consumer and having a say in what you buy.
Fair trade is just wages, fair working conditions, and helping the global economy in the right way.
Fair trade is important to me because it really gives us a chance to help people outside our
Fair
world.
trade means to me that no one is exploited. It helps developing countries and in turn helps the global economy.
The first time I heard about fair trade, I was a sophomore at Magnificat, and I decided to get involved because I liked the reasons behind the cause.
I first heard about fair trade when I was a freshman, and I decided to get involved because it's something that I feel is an important part of our lives.
Fair trade to me is helping other people buy the purchases that I make.
That would be the first fair trade school in Ohio and would set an example for other schools.
Fair trade will benefit Magnificat because we will be more holistically educated students. Our school will benefit from the publicity of being a fair trade certified school.
Fair trade can help promote the mission statement of Magnificat by having us buy smart and responsibly.
Thanks, gals. We appreciate very much you taking the time to come and see us.
One quick question. What does it take to become a fair trade certified school? Briefly.
There are 5 steps, and we've already accomplished, I think, 2 or 3 of the 5. The first one's starting a committee, which obviously we have. The second one is to promote the education and awareness of fair trade amongst the school, which we've done. The next one is implementing fair trade products in all faculty meetings, anything run by the school. The fourth is to write a purchasing policy, which basically would be like a contractual agreement that the school makes to buy fair trade products whenever and wherever possible. And then I think the 5th step is to apply to be certified.
Mrs. O'Hara?
Where is the catalog available for us to look at?
It's in campus ministry. You can print you out a personal copy, or if anyone would like to take a look at it right now, it can be passed around.
Well,
And they can leave this one here, and we'll get a couple of copies that we'll make available in the faculty staff room. And now, of course, you know where they are and who they are, so if you have any further questions about the process. Plus, the girls will be keeping us attuned to the developments as they're happening in the process of trying to become a certified fair trade school. So, having said all of that, we thank you. We love you. God bless you. Continue on with your good work.
Thanks for
details that we can fill you in on as we go. One thing about even what makes this doable for us is that it is a very realistic certification process. To be contractually trying to purchase fair trade whenever, wherever we can is different from some kind of a straitjacket that would make it untenable for us, where, you know, we're trying to do the impossible by purchasing everything immediately, totally and only, so that there's, you know, nothing in the bookstore, cafeteria, or anywhere else. So what the girls, the research they've done under the guidance of Dennis and Liz and Katie has been quite impressive, and it really is a very viable project and initiative. So it's good to see them making steps forward as they go. Okay.